glad I cleared that out.
We just got rid of a whole bunch of them. This is the oldest Metler that we have. You can only preset one thing on it, and that is you can preset your time. Your on-off switch is right here on the top. This is your time. This is the one that always messes up. So if you don't hit 0 several times, sometimes it'll do some funny things. We'll see what happens today. Oh, it actually set it okay. Next person, I can promise you it's not going to do that. It's going to keep going 5, 4, 4, 4. Just hit 0.
0, 0, 0,
Yeah.
and then set your time.
Right, right. And if that still doesn't work, just turn it off and turn it
It's
back on.
gotten old.
When it's done that always.
Oh, yeah.
When we got this, when we bought this machine at Roper years ago, 20-something years ago, it did the same thing.
Interesting.
So it's something, some defect in the
Manufacturer.
manufacturing, and I don't know. They fixed it with the other ones. If you notice, it will come up reading watts, so you got to hit watts per centimeter squared. It comes up reading CW, that is continuous, and then it says pulsed over here. So you can set it whichever way you want it. Now the thing is, I can change this intensity. I can change that dial all I want to, but do you notice it's not doing anything for my readout? What does my readout say?
0.
It says 0. So if I leave this up here, I have no idea how much I'm delivering, and I hit go, I could be delivering 3.0. Does that make sense to you? Because you have no idea where that is. So it should always be set to the left on 0 before you ever hit the go button and have it on your patient. Does that make sense? You cannot preset it. That's all there is to it. So that's all there is to this machine. You can't change anything about it except for continuous or pulsed. If it doesn't give me any options of 10%, 20%, 50%, what is my pulsed? 20%. Let's look at the sound head. It's attached. It doesn't come off. There's nowhere on here that I can change it from 1 to 3. So what is this?
3.
1.
Oh, 1.
1. If all of the older units, if they do not give you an option between 1 and 3, they are a 1 megahertz unit. Because that's what we used to always deliver. Okay, so any of the older units, and there'll still be clinics that have this machine right here. It's a great machine.
I have a question. Once it's on and you're doing that, that's when you set the intensity?
Right.
And you can read it up.
Right, so you're going to have to be moving this and turning this, making sure you're not lifting this off the patient. So you got to make sure that's moving, but you're looking at this to see what you're setting.
Why would you be messing with that after you've already set it?
Well, you have to set it, but you can't set it until it's on the patient.
Right, but then once you do it,
Once you do it, you're
it's set,
fine.
Right.
Once you do it, you're fine. But the first few seconds, you got to be making sure that you can do both at one time. So always, the key to that is always keep the machine very close to you. There's no reason not to keep the machine close to you when you're setting something up. So have it right next to you. If you can't get close enough to the patient with the cart, then take it off the cart and put it next to the patient or whatever. Now, I would never allow a patient to sit like this, right? Why not? No back support. Right. I would have him laying down or sitting in a chair or something like that. I would not ever do this to a patient. But get your cart, get your machine close enough to your patient that you can tell what's going on. So I'm going to show y'all how to do this. Keep it going and turning your intensity at the same time. So I've got it on watts per centimeter squared. I have it on continuous, meaning I really have to make sure I'm keeping it moving. I'm going to hit go.
You're just turning very slowly, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Can't see, so I'm just...
And what are you putting it up to?
1.5.
1.5.
Somewhere around 1.5. And this one will vary a little bit. It's going anywhere from 1.49 to 1.56. It's just going up and down.
Yeah, it looks like it keeps adjusting.
It does. The old Chattanoogas will do the same thing. Now this one will not. But the old Chattanoogas, what they're reading is, remember we talked about peak intensity and average intensity? Remember we talked a little bit how some machines you can watch the two different, all of the older units will give you both the peak and the average intensity. Which one do we care about? We care about the average. You see it, you're seeing this fluctuating because it's giving you the peak intensity.
We
Okay?
need to know the different names of the machines and all their
You mean Mettler versus-
idiosyncrasies, like all.
You don't need to know
each
the name of
different
any machine. I could care less if you know that. You
Works.
better know all the idiosyncrasies though,
Yeah,
because that's real life. You've got to know your machine and what it's
Right.
going to do.
but wouldn't it benefit us if we did know the names when we're studying and say, okay, that's the Chattanooga and that one does this?
All of them are Mettler except for this one
Oh,
and that one down there. All the rest of them come from Mettler. And that's just because we know the owner, we know the guy that owns the company. So we get them a little bit cheaper.
So really, to figure, we're just gonna have to do it and do it and do it to figure out which one's doing what.
You don't see them at all?
You're absolutely right.
I'm right now, trying to remember.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You gotta put your hands on each unit, practice with each unit, figure them out. All right? Okay,